Peace and blessings. Welcome back to Monday Message. Dharma Shakti here. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking time out of your busy life to listen to this video. You know, I believe that we are all ingrained with a divine purpose, and that purpose is something worth fighting for, something worth taking a stand for. And these Monday messages were inspired by that idea that we all have a purpose. And I know that it's really easy to forget that your main life mission is to excavate that purpose from within you. And so these Monday messages were inspired from an idea that, you know, we all need reminders every now and then. We all need people in our lives who remind us that there is a meaning behind all the madness that we're going through. So let me attempt to do what many of my teachers have done for me and give you like just a little bit of meaning behind the madness that you may feel like you're walking through in life right now. So let's get into today's message. Today's message is a quote by Trevor Hall from his song, I believe it's from the song Arrow. Confusion clouds the heart, but it also points the way. Yeah, let me say that again. You just like take it in. Confusion clouds the heart, but it also points the way. Man, I love music. I love music in general, like the rhythms and the beats, but I love music even more when these artists can pack within the music vibrations these really profound poetic ways of encapsulating the human life journey. And I believe that Trevor Hall does a really great job at that, especially with this particular line. At least for me, it resonated with where I was at in my life. So confusion clouds the heart, but it also points the way. And this is so true, right? Confusion clouds the heart. Now, confusion doesn't come from the heart. It comes from the mind and overthinking and just not being able to settle in any particular area with your beliefs or with your decisions or with like getting grounded in how you feel. And so the confusion that comes from the mind will cloud the heart. But I feel like, you know, for me, my takeaway from this quote is a few points that I'm going to bring up with you. So let me just get to that. Staying on track here. So it's okay to be confused. First and foremost, let's just get that out of the air right away. It's okay to be confused. It's all right to just feel like, you know what? I don't fucking know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know what kind of decision I want to make. I'm just confused about everything. I think that confusion is very much part of the process sometimes. And so if you're in a place of confusion, have a little bit of compassion for yourself and just like, it's okay. It's okay to be confused. And here's why I think it's okay to be confused. I personally believe that confusion is like, it's like a warning sign from your inner intuitive system, your inner GPS system, your inner guidance, your inner knowing. It's a way of your body's like, or rather your energetic body's way of letting you know, hey, we need to sit with this. We need to get some clarity on this. We need to ground and center ourselves so that we can let the dust settle. All the confusion is the dust. Let that settle so that we can come to a place of clarity. So with this line, confusion clouds the heart, but it also points the way. I feel like what happens is when we get confused, it's like this higher part of you. I want to say the body because the body really encapsulates the soul, but I feel like it's the soul's way of saying, hey, this needs your attention. Yes, we're confused. That means you need to sit with it. Sit with it. Like tuck it away in the heart and just allow it to marinate there and sit with it and reflect on it and like face it, right? And so there are lots of practices that we can do that help facilitate that process. For me, it's my yoga practice, it's meditation, it's being down by the ocean and just watching the waves roll in. Basically, it's any practice that's going to create a clearing of all the busyness and my day-to-day responsibilities and, you know, like my overarching things that I have to do. It's a stepping away from that and a clearing that allows me to just sit and surrender to what is. And the confusion always gets, like, it will reach a threshold point where it's like, oh, this really requires my attention. I need to like sit with it and feel it and sift through the things. So if you're feeling confused, let it be like a calling from within you saying, this really needs your attention. It's an opportunity to tune in and to reconnect to your inner being, which always knows. Your inner being always knows. On a side note, I think sometimes our confusion comes from the fact that we may not like the choices that we have in front of us. And so we're confused because we don't want to go that way. And that seems to be the path laid out for us. And we're having a hard time surrendering to what is. But either way, I honestly feel like confusion is like a warning call that comes from the heart that says, we need you to tune in, ground down, and connect to the heart and to the soul, to that part of you that knows, right? That part of you that has the inner knowing. Yes, it's really just simply a call to reconnect to your intuition and to get out of your mind a little bit and get down into the heart. See, our mind will overanalyze. It's always looking for an answer. And when we can't find an answer, it's very frustrating for us. And so we don't always have answers right away. And we have to just sit, right? We have to sit with things. And even if that's sitting with it for a few days, doesn't mean that you're just sitting in a meditation for a few days. It means that you stop like the mental circus and you allow that thing to kind of settle in the heart and trust that your inner knowing is going to guide you and is going to show you the way at some point. And this leads me to my next point that I want to make is we have to also be receptive. When we are in a place of confusion in our lives, we have to be receptive to insight. We have to be receptive to synchronicities. We have to be receptive to divine messages and aha moments. We need to shift gears and be in a receptive mode where we're willing to receive the things that are coming at us, because the things that are coming at us often have like little signs and messages and moments of letting you know the path that you should take. And in that being receptive, I think that we also need to stop trying to figure things out, right? Trying to figure something out is not being in receptive mode. That's like an output mode. Your brain is trying to like find a solution, right? It's trying to like find a way. And so if we're in receptive mode, it's like we're allowing the solution to come from within us, right? And so on that note, also, let's see if we can shift gears in the way that we're approaching the thing that we're confused about. Often we make the thing that we're confused about a problem that needs a solution. And what if we shifted gears to, I have a question that needs an answer. A problem that needs a solution feels heavier and more dense and yuckier than the idea of like, oh, I have a question that I need an answer to. That feels more light and to the point, and like there's going to be less of a detour. I have a question, I need an answer. As opposed to I have a problem and I need a solution. That second one feels very graspy and very desperate. Whereas I have a question that I need an answer to, it feels very clear and very concise of like, okay, what are my next steps? What is the answer? Rather than I have this problem, what's the solution? There could be 10 different solutions and now I'm even more confused. So what if we shifted our approach to the confusion? First of all, let me just kind of tie everything together that I've discussed. What if we have confusion around a situation or a decision that we need to make in our lives? And what if we took time to reconnect and to ground down into ourselves and reconnect with the heart, the inner knowing, that inner guidance, and we made way for a clearing to happen, even if it was only 30 minutes of your day, an hour of your day, 10 minutes of your day. You create that clearing where you unhook from everything going on and all the hustle and bustle so that you can allow the dust to settle. And all the dust is like the thoughts and the movement of your life of like scrambling around trying to figure things out, right? And what if we just let that dust settle and we got still for a moment? And then in that moment of stillness and that moment of clearing, we allowed ourselves to be receptive, right? Not only are we tuning into the heart, but we're also allowing ourselves to be receptive to the answer of which our question is arising, right? We have this question: what do I do? Where do I go? What's the right decision? What's the next step for me? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I act? Do I not act? Do I turn right? Do I turn left? Do I go here? Do I go there? Our mind is like wanting answers, right? And so what if we got quiet, created a clearing, reconnected to the heart space, grounded down into our inner guidance, and we got receptive, and then we asked our question to which we seek an answer, rather than mulling over and stressing about our problem that needs a solution. I hope that this is resonating with you and making sense for you. I know for me, all of these ideas and perspectives have really helped me just kind of make my way through my own journey. You know, in the last couple of months, I've been in this place, just kind of walking around, my hands up in the air, talking to myself out loud like a crazy person. I'm really talking to the universe. And just like, I surrender. I surrender. I don't have the answer. And this is my question. And I really had to shift gears from, I have a problem that needs a solution, because problem just creates a lot of stress. For me anyways, it creates anxiety. It creates this sense of urgency that is not motivating. There's urgency that like will get a fire lit under you and get you motivated, but then there is urgency that is overwhelming. I think that is unnecessary. Like when it is unnecessary, it can create a lot of anxiety. And so when we have problems, there is that like anxious urgency to it. But if we have a question that needs an answer, there may be an urgency to it, but at least like we've put the question out there and now we're receptive. I hope it was helpful. Enjoy your week. Have a beautiful, fabulous time with whatever you're doing in these next couple of days. And remember to be in receptive mode. You have questions to which you're seeking answers. Be receptive, my friends. Be receptive.